The episode begins with several emergency calls coming into 112, but one immediately stands out. A terrified woman is crying and begging for help. She says a man is inside the house with a knife and that he's gonna kill her. The operator tries to get more information, but the woman suddenly screams for help before the call cuts off. Police are sent to the address in Varmdo, where officers Rollander and Benson arrive to investigate. But instead of finding a woman in danger, they walk straight into a trap. Both officers are brutally murdered and decapitated. The scene appears ritualistic, and investigators quickly realize the killer may have deliberately staged the crime. But the biggest mystery is the woman who called 112. She sounded genuinely terrified, yet there is no sign of her anywhere in the house. Even stranger, the call was made from the house's landline at exactly 1:15 a.m. So someone was inside the house, but where did the woman go? Detective Thomas becomes especially interested in the case, partly because he knew the murdered officers. While his colleagues focus on finding the killer, Thomas starts looking for connections to other cases. That's when he discovers the murder of another police officer, Marina Johnson, in Sotherham. A suspect named Victor Falk has already been arrested, and the case appears to be solved, but Thomas notices several similarities. Marina was also killed with a small serrated knife, and her death was connected to another 112 call made at exactly 1:15 a.m. on a Friday night. Thomas immediately suspects the two cases are connected. He convinces his superior Lucas to let him investigate the possibility in secret, but there is a catch. Thomas can only have one detective helping him, and nobody outside their small group can know they're looking into a potential connection between the murders. Thomas then turns to someone unexpected. His father, Alfred, is a former homicide detective with years of experience investigating violent crimes. The two have a strained relationship, and Thomas originally visits Alfred because of his birthday and some unfinished family business, but Thomas eventually admits that he needs his father's help. Alfred agrees, but insists they keep their involvement completely secret. Together, they start digging deeper into the two murders. Their biggest breakthrough comes when they visit Marina Johnson's mother. Thomas asks whether she has any recordings or voicemails from Marina. She does. When Thomas listens to one of them, he immediately recognizes Marina's voice. And that's when everything changes. Marina's voice is the same voice used in the mysterious 112 call. But Marina was already dead when that call was made. Thomas and Alfred realize what the killer has been doing. The woman calling 112 from the Varmdo house wasn't actually there. The killer was using a recording of a dead victim's voice. The purpose is horrifyingly simple. The killer makes it sound like a woman is trapped inside the house and about to be murdered. Police rush to the location expecting to rescue her. Instead, they walk directly into a carefully prepared ambush. The 112 call isn't just connected to the murders, it's what brings the victims to the killer. And the repeated time of 1:15 a.m. suggests this isn't random. This is a pattern. Alfred then accompanies Thomas to the Varmdo crime scene and starts questioning the original reconstruction of what happened. Investigators assumed Rollander was killed first and Benson was attacked shortly afterward, but Alfred notices details suggesting there may have been a much longer gap between the two killings. If he's right, the killer wasn't simply reacting to the officer's arrival. Everything may have been carefully planned. Then another 112 call comes in. A terrified woman is crying and screaming that a man is going to cut off her head. Thomas and Alfred now understand that they're dealing with someone who's done this before and is following a very specific ritual. The killer uses the voice of a victim to lure police officers into a trap, murders them, and then takes their heads. And if the pattern continues, another officer could already be the killer's next target. The episode ends with Thomas and Alfred realizing that the real question isn't just who's behind these murders, it's how many police officers has this killer already lured to their deaths.